Hi everyone, I'm Creeley. With the upcoming expansion Endwalker for Final Fantasy XIV, I thought it would be fun to do a sort of like job change wish list. Just a bunch of things that I think would be great if they added them to each job in the game. In this video, I'll be going over each job and changes I think might benefit the job or just make them a little more fun to play. Every single job is fantastic in Final Fantasy XIV. They're all really fun, and I want to and do play all of them. That being said, this is just my own personal opinion. There are a few jobs that I actually don't have an opinion on, and it's due to not really playing them all too much. And those jobs are Monk, Samurai, Dancer, and Machinist. Those four jobs haven't really had a whole lot of experience with. Samurai is only level 70, Machinist is only level 60, Monk and Dancer are level 80, but I don't play them a whole too much. I think I just leveled them to 80, and then that was the end of that. Maybe if you have something you think that they could change or do to those four jobs, maybe just leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of these jobs, really. So let's go ahead and start with the healers. White Mage, I really just want Stone and Arrow back. I don't have anything against Dia and Glare. Actually, Glare does look really cool. I'm like a lore guy, you know, so I like the lore of the job and everything like that. And with White Mage being someone who speaks to the elementals, I like the idea of using earth and wind and water and all those things for their spells. So I think that it would be great if we could get Stone and Arrow back. So moving on to Scholar. I think Scholar's fine. Scholar's really good. The only thing I think that they could change to make it better is better Fey gauge usage. I feel like if you don't need to heal, you don't need to use your gauge, and so you can just overcap on gauge and it doesn't really matter. I don't have any idea of how they could add more to the Fey gauge. I guess just make your fairy do more. I don't know. So moving on to Astrologian. With Astrologian, that job is very exciting to me because they have stated that they're going to like rework it and make it a pure healer. Now, for me, I hope that just means Diurnal Sect. So the changes I want to see for Astrologian is just that Diurnal Sect is full-time. That's really all that I want to see. I don't want them to change the card system at all. I like it the way it is. I really like the idea that I can buff the party. I think that's amazing. If they were to take away the cards, I think they would just destroy Astrologian's identity, so I don't see them doing that. But yeah, that's all I hope that the changes for Astrologian and Endwalker are, is just full-time Diurnal Sect. That would just be amazing. Moving on to Sage. Now, Sage is brand new. It's not even out. I don't have an opinion on it. All I'm going to say is that I just can't wait to try the new healer. I think it'll be great. Same for Reaper. I'm going to play the new Reaper job as well, and I feel like both of them are just going to be amazing. All of the jobs are amazing. So, moving on to the tanks, we'll start with Warrior. Now, Warrior, I feel like Warrior is good. I don't think they need to change anything. If anything, they can just add something. But what I really want, what's on my wish list for Warrior, is the Butcher's Block animation. I actually have a video. This is the Butcher's Block animation, and I really would love for this to come back. I think that's just amazing. Here, with the sound. We'll do with the sound. It's just too good. It's so good. One more time. I love Butcher's Block. Oh my gosh, I think that's great. Yeah, as far as Warrior goes, I just want to see the Butcher's Block animation. We can still just have it replace Storm's Path. It can still be called Storm's Path. It could still have everything that Storm's Path is, the potency, what it does for the Warrior, to the Warrior, all that. I just want it to look like Butcher's Block. That's all. Yeah, that would be just amazing. So moving on to Dark Knight, I've been talking about this since they removed it, which I think they might have removed it in Stormblood. I'm not really for sure, but I do want the Power Slash animation back. It's the same situation with Warrior. I think Dark Knight is fine. Dark Knight's fantastic. Warrior is actually my favorite tank. Dark Knight is my second favorite tank. The Power Slash animation, I just would really like to have that back. So I do have a video of that as well. So this guy did a video of when Dark Knight first came out, so he's doing an overview of all their abilities. I'll put a link to these videos that I used down in the description so you guys can go check them out yourselves. But this is the power slash animation, and I would really like for this to come back into the game. So again, it can have all of the same things that Soul Eater has. I just want this animation. It's so good. Just, oh my god, I love it. I really would like to have that animation just put back into the game. I want it to replace Soul Eater. So Soul Eater can still be called Soul Eater. It could still have all the things. I just want that animation on there. Moving on to Gunbreaker. So Gunbreaker for me has a couple extra weapon skills that I feel is unnecessary. Sonic Break being one of them. It has nothing to do with DPS or meters or anything like that. It has everything to do with my personal preference. I don't think that Gunbreaker needs to have a solo dot. It's a weapon skill that applies the dot solely for the effect of applying a dot. You know, the Paladin has their dot worked into their rotation, so if they could just get Sonic Break worked into the rotation of Gunbreaker, I think that that would just be better. Mostly just that dot. If they could just work that dot like into the rotation. What I mean by that is like take the, say, the continuation combo, those three, and in between you hit continuation. So on the last one, before you hit the last continuation, just have it apply Sonic Break as a dot, and that would be, I would like that a lot. Paladin. So Paladin, there's a lot to go over for Paladin. So I feel like Paladin needs more mitigation for themselves. I don't think that they need more party mitigation. They already have that. I feel like they just need more mitigation for themselves. And the way that I feel like they could do that is to change cover. I think that if they added mitigation to cover, that would be great. So cover, you cover your ally and you take all the damage that they're going to take. There's zero mitigation for the ally. There's zero mitigation for yourself. You simply just take the damage that they were going to take. So instead of them taking 90k, you take 90k. And that kind of freaking sucks. If they were to add mitigation to cover, I think it would be great if they added like 10 to 15%, you know, damage mitigation for the target, because the target's the one who's being attacked. And then the damage that is dealt over that, the other like 85% or whatever damage, is then transferred to the Paladin, but it takes the Paladin's defense into account, and so the Paladin takes a whole lot less damage. That way you're not just taking the brunt of 90k because, you know, your Black Mage decided to stand in a mechanic. Also, I feel like cover needs a farther range, and you need to be able to use it on yourself. So if we were able to use cover on ourselves and give ourselves some mitigation of like 15%, I think that would be great. So after writing all that up for Paladin and cover, I came across Intervention. Now, I did have Paladin at 70 at the end of Stormblood, and I did have my hotbars set up, but when Shadowbringers came out, I had to redo my hotbars because, you know, they take out actions, they remove things, or they change things, and so you have to reset it. And so I never actually put Intervention back on my hotbar, which didn't really matter as far as self-mitigation. So as a tank, I know that it's very flashy and very cool that you can mitigate for your party members, and in dungeons, it's very like, oh man, Pog, you know? But I like mitigation for myself. The other tanks can use their Nascent Flash, the Blackest Night, Heart of Stone, all on themselves. They can use it on themselves and mitigate damage for themselves, as well as use it on a party member and mitigate damage for the party member. Intervention is only for a party member, and it's anywhere from 10 to 25% damage mitigation, but for a party member. Now, if we could use that on ourselves as Paladins, I feel like that would solve all the problems I have with Paladin's mitigation. So yeah, as far as changes for Paladin, I really hope that they just add some more mitigation, and those are just a couple ways I feel like they could add mitigation for Paladin. Moving on to the melee DPS. So there's only two here. As I said, Monk and Samurai I don't really have an opinion on. But for Ninja, what I would like to see, what's on my wish list for Endwalker, is that Kasatsu amplifies Shuriken and Reitan animations. I know that they amplify the damage already, and that's great, but I think that it would be great if they changed what Shuriken looks like. So when you use Kasatsu and you cast Shuriken, instead of throwing your ridiculously oversized, you know, throwing knife, then you could have like 3 shurikens show up around the ninja and then just all hit the target all at once. I think that would be cool. And as far as amplifying the Rayton animation, like it right now it's a thunder strike and that would be great, but maybe have it like arc a couple times, or just amplify the animation. That's all I think that they could add for ninja. Ninja's really good for me. I actually mained ninja in Shadowbringers, so I don't think that there's too much to change there. Now with Dragoon already feels really good to me. I don't think that they could add anything to Dragoon. It's already got so much going on. I do think that they could change Fang and Claw and Wheeling Thrust to be one button. So that way, no matter which combo you used, it would just automatically prompt you to do the next one. But it's kind of like the continuation of Gunbreaker. And then they can just increase the gauge increase from 10 seconds to 15 seconds to kind of help with that. I feel like having a 5-button combo feels okay. It's not bad, right? Like I played Dragoon and I love Dragoon, but I just think that if they shortened it to a 4-button combo, that would be just better. Moving on to the ranged physical, I only have one here, Dancer and Machinist being 2 of the 4 jobs I don't have an opinion on. So Bard, what I would like to see for Bard is Quick Knock upgraded to Wide Volley. Wide Volley was so good back in A Realm Reborn, and I think it was still around in Heaven's Ward. Oh my god, Wide Volley was great. I do have a video for Wide Volley as well. Let me go ahead and pull that up. This is the Wide Volley animation, and if they I don't want Quick Knock to become Wide Volley. I want Quick Knock to upgrade into Wide Volley. I want to get a trait that upgrades your Quick Knock into Wide Volley, and I think that this would be cool. But this is the animation for Wide Volley. It's a circle AoE with your target at the center of the circle, and so I feel like that would just be better than Quick Knock. Quick Knock is really good. I did some testing with Quick Knock, and actually you can target an enemy and be just outside the range to hit them and still use Quick Knock. So I thought that that was kind of interesting. I was using Quick Knock to see how wide the cone is, and I wasn't actually hitting the dummy that I was targeting, so I thought that that was pretty interesting. With Quick Knock, you kind of need to be next to the group. And with Bard's mobility, it doesn't really matter if you're kind of back, or maybe you are next to the group, or maybe you're running around picking up a chest or something in a dungeon, or just moving for a mechanic. But for Wide Volley, you target your enemy and you use Wide Volley from a distance. So I feel like if Quick Knock upgraded to Wide Volley, that'd be great. Another thing for Bard that is on my wish list is a dot spread similar to Summoner's Bane, because when you're using Mage's Ballad and you're trying to dot up as many enemies as you can in the pack, it's kind of like a pain to do that. So to have a dot spread would be great, or maybe that's just a little too OP. I don't know. Oh, or better yet, what they could do is they can have an AoE Iron Jaws, so that way you would still have to manually apply all your dots, but then you can Iron Jaws the group. Oh, okay, I want an AoE Iron Jaws for Bard. That's on my wish list. Moving on to the ranged casters, we have Red Mage, and Red Mage, I would just like to see upgraded animations. I don't need anything too fancy, just like a Jolt 3, a Ver Aeroja, Ver Thundaja, Ver Fyraja, or Uga, Ver Fyraga, Ver Stonaga, those things. I think that just upgraded animations would be great. Red Mage is already pretty solid to me. There's nothing I think that they could change or anything, so just some upgraded animations is all I want out of Endwalker. Moving on with Black Mage, I do feel like they could clean up Black Mage's skills. Instead of having like Blizzard 2 and Freeze, you could just have Blizzard 2 upgrade into Freeze, because I've been doing a lot of leveling with Black Mage lately, and I've noticed I'm never using Blizzard 1, Blizzard 2, and I only use Fire 1 for that one situation. We'll go over that in a second, but yeah, I never use Blizzard 2, and I never use Blizzard 1. So if they upgraded Blizzard 2 into Freeze, and then maybe upgraded Blizzard 1 into Blizzard 4, I feel like that would be, just to kind of help clean up their abilities. So on the topic of upgrading Blizzard 1 into Blizzard 4, you would think that you would want to upgrade Fire 1 into Fire 4. However, Fire 1 is what adds the difficulty to Black Mage as far as sustaining your Enochian. In order to sustain your buff, you occasionally have to weave in a fire 1 to reset your astral fire stacks, because they only have a 15-second counter. So you can get in like 3 fire 4s, but then you have to cast in that fire 1 and it resets your stacks. So I don't think that they could upgrade fire 1 into fire 4. I still think they could upgrade Blizzard into Blizzard 4. But yeah, I think that they're gonna have to keep fire. I would also like to see an upgraded fire 2 for Black Mage. Make it something like a Firaga or Firaja. You know, it's still just your base AoE fire, but just upgrade the animation, change the name, maybe give it a slightly better potency. I think the potency right now is 80. Maybe to increase it to 100 or something, make it equal to freeze. I don't know. Moving on to Summoner, I just want more Eggies with Summoner. That's what I want. I want more summons. I know that a lot of people, we've discussed this before in the past, at the end of Heaven's Ward, at the beginning, you know, sometime in Stormblood, but I really think that Summoner needs more summons. I don't think they need more all the time on hand. I want more Eggies, even if that means just Eggy Glamours. That can be okay too. They were going to do Eggy Glamours, we got the 3 carbuncles, and then they just stopped and they were like, no more. And I understand why, because if you glamour a Leviathan Eggy onto an Ifrit Eggy, now you have a Leviathan running around doing a bunch of fire moves, and that just doesn't look right, you know? And so there's no real way, maybe that's why they stopped, is because there was no real way to like change the animations. But I have a solution for that as well. Now, I'm not a game developer, but personally, I think a repeatable quest where the outcome is the change in your Eggies would be good. That would make it so they could even give your Eggy an appropriate action animation. Just a small quest where you take your Soul Stone to the altar of the primal you want as your Eggy. You set your Soul Stone there, you do something. I don't know what, they could do whatever they want with the you know, quest. And the 3 Eggy slots could even have specific Eggies attached to them as well. So you could have like Ifrit, Ramu, and you know, Ravana all attached to the same slot. So if you want Ifrit and Ravana, too bad, you can only have one or the other. Same for like Garuda, Leviathan, and one other one, I don't know which one, but like they could all just have their own specific slots. You know, Titan and Shiva can be tied to one slot because, you know, defensive and ice and stone and all that good stuff. But I think that that would help in giving us more Eggies, but still only allowing the summoner to have their 3 base summons that they already have. Now, all the potencies would all be the same. The effects would all be the same. So like Ifrit's Inferno Cone would still be a cone, even if it's, you know, Ramu's Judgment Bolt, it would still be a cone, to have the same potencies. It would just look different because it's a Ramu Eggy, and I think that would be great. So that's what I want for Summoner. The changes I want to see that are on my wish list is more Eggies. It would allow the players to be a little more unique in the way that they play Summoner. So that's it for all of the 17 main jobs. I'm pretty sure I covered every single one of those. And I say the 17 main jobs because we do have our Blue Mage just kind of chilling over there. Now, Blue Mage is not a regular job, as I'm sure you are all well aware, but I do have some things that I would like to see happen for Blue Mage. Now, this is more of like a content edition. I don't really want them, I don't have any opinion on like specific abilities or anything like that. I do feel like they need more primal abilities, you know. But what I want for Blue Mage is a duty finder. I want to be able to queue up for dungeons as Blue Mage with other Blue Mages. It's a duty finders section in the duty finder specifically for Blue Mage, where you have to queue up as a Blue Mage, you get into a party with other Blue Mages. It's not necessarily for leveling, although they could add a Blue Mage leveling roulette. That's, you know, think about that. But it's more so just if there's a spell you need and it's from a dungeon, you can queue up with other Blue Mages and go after that spell. Or maybe you want to queue up for a 24-man because you think that the gear in there would be really great. I mean, that's like a poor reason, but you just want to do the 24-man as Blue Mages, right? You can queue up for 24-mans, or you can queue up for a trial for the same thing. Maybe there's a spell you want, you know? Maybe there's a weapon you want. That moves me to the next thing I want for Blue Mage. I want more weapons for Blue Mage, purely for glamour reasons. I don't think that they need to have stats. I want them to have stats because it feels weird to have a weapon without stats. And I think the weapon I have currently actually does have stats, so that's a plus. And masks. I want lots and lots of masks for Blue Mage. Maybe even masks that have other things on them. There, it's a mask with like a tiara. I don't know. More head items that are, you know, not necessarily Blue Mage specific, but work for that Blue Mage aesthetic. So that's going to be it for my job change wish list for Endwalker. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have some ideas of your own for any of these jobs, let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, then go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe to me for more of these videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a safe journey.